So I'm going to pull over my journal to check my little notes on what we're doing today. The theme of 2025 is rising higher, growing deeper. And our theme for the month of June is in living color. The title of our talk today is Living Out Loud. And you know, with a title like that, it could only be given by our wonderful Reverend Charlene. We are so glad that you joined us today. Thank you for taking some time out of your day. If you have any prayer concerns or celebrations, please be sure to let us know in the chat, and Reverend Charlene will include those later in our service when we get to our prayer portion of our day. And we call that spiritual mind treatment because it's a form of affirmative prayer. All right, that's all I have to say to kick things off. You're here, you made it, relax and enjoy our welcoming video. Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly. And so it is. And so it is. Okay, now it's time for our meditation. And we're currently teaching a class, Reverend Charlene and myself, and it's called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. So if you've never taken a class, this meditation will give you a little taste of what we do when we're in class. And if you've taken a class, but maybe it's been a while, then this is a refresher on what you're missing out on, and maybe you'll consider joining a class in the future. And if you're currently enrolled in the class, we just did this yesterday, so this is an encore performance, but we had a lot of great feedback from it, and it really ties in with our message today. So let's begin. I invite you to sit back and relax and get comfortable. Close your eyes and allow yourself to focus on your breath. Notice how your breath goes in and out as it replicates the law of circulation. As we give, so shall we receive. As we give, so shall we receive. Just like those beautiful trees that you're seeing on the screen, taking in oxygen and giving out to the world. So let's begin with the smile meditation. As you breathe in, say to yourself, breathing in, I smile to myself. And as you breathe out, say, breathing out, I smile to the world. As you breathe in, I smile to myself. And as you breathe out, I smile to the world. I'll say that a few more times so you can get into that rhythm, into that pattern. As I breathe in, I smile to myself. As I breathe out, I smile to the world. As I breathe in, I smile to myself. As I breathe out, I smile to the world. As I breathe in, I smile to myself. As I breathe out, I smile to the world. As I breathe in, I smile to myself. And as I breathe out, I smile to the world. Now you keep breathing. I'm going to say that one more time, and then we're going to enter into silence together, but I can invite you to keep saying this mantra. As I breathe in, I smile to myself. As I breathe out, I smile to the world. As I breathe in, I smile to myself. As I breathe out, I smile to the world. Your connection to spirit influences your energy and your outlook, your inward energy, and what you project out into the world. Breathing in, I smile to myself. Breathing out, I smile to the world. Now, gently guide your awareness back to this time and this space. And as you continue to breathe in and out, let each inhale bring you closer to this moment. When you are ready, I invite you to open your eyes and sit back and enjoy music by Leah.
This is called the Meditation on Breathing. It's by Sarah Dan Jones, and I'm going to sing something very simple, and once you get the hang of it, sing it with me. Together. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe when I breathe in. I breathe in peace when I breathe out. I breathe out love when I breathe in. I breathe in peace when I breathe out. I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Oh.
That was amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was so hoping that you were going to end with and you did it. Ah, good morning and welcome, welcome. Thank you, Tamara, for that reminder, that extra round of those breathing meditations, and of course, the wonderful Leah being with us. It's such a blessing. This is the last Sunday of June, which means it's the last time we can officially say Pride Month is happening. Boo, it's the last Sunday of Pride Month. But it does not go out with a whimper. No, 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 no. It is Pride Month. It goes out with a bang. So, in celebration of this final week of Pride, we've got inspiration from our community. We've been talking about it all month. And we've been kind of referencing that whole In Living Color, the amazing smash hit of the 90s. Wait, yeah, 90s, right? 80s, 90s. Anyway, it was fabulous. And I wanted to tell you because last week or the week before Tamara talked, when I talked, it was called It's Never Too Late and It's Never Too Soon. And I was like, yeah, because that's heavy D. Now, many of you didn't grow up on In Living Color, didn't listen to it, so you don't have that song in the back of your head. But if you do, you know what I'm talking about. Well, the people who put together these course notes, gosh, this is Sunday, so they're not course notes. They're outlines for the talk for Sunday. I teach during the week too, so excuse me. I want you to know that they actually put into our notes the whole rhyme by Heavy D. Isn't that wild? It's a quote by Heavy D. And I'm like, but what if we wanted the little soundtrack? And then I realized, well, they'll cut us off. So I'll read it to you. I won't necessarily rhyme it because I mean, I got skills, but I'm not that confident in them. You think about it in your head. It might come out anyway. So, Heavy D, In Living Color, the theme song goes like this. You can walk on the moon, float like a balloon. You see, it's never too late and it's never too soon. Take it from me, it's I to be in living color. And how would you feel knowing prejudice was obsolete and all mankind danced to the exact beat? And at night, it was safe to walk down the street in living color. You can do what you want to do in living color. So, why did I quote that? Because actually, I really wished I could have and wrapped it for you. But again, not my strength. But let me tell you something. It gives me an idea of this fight that we go through, this spiritual search for freedom and to be included and to take. whatever's dished out to whatever community you're one with, if you're being persecuted or in some way or othered, think about these lyrics. You're it you can walk on the moon and you can float like a balloon. In other words, we have a spiritual magnificence. We have a spiritual essence that it's never too late to come into or come out is what you do. Coming out in whatever way that looks like. You don't have to come out as LGBTQIA plus. You can just come out as you. And you could be in living color, head to toe, fabulous, the way that you want to live. And it's never too late and it's never too soon. I love that they took this whole little first phrase of that song and they put it in to the CSL. Now, I just want you to get this because I don't know if it's sinking in the way I'm putting it out. The Centers for Spiritual Living.org, the home office organization, which is an international spiritual living organization, put this in their notes for the month of June, word for word, and they were like, yeah, go. Yes, definitely just do that. When the rest of maybe mainstream religiosity might have us think that there's something wrong with a particular creation of the divine, our community is doubling down. They're like, oh, no, 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 do not get it twisted. We are one with the divine, and it expresses itself in and through and as everyone, no matter how it shows up. And in the spirit of Lady Gaga, who said, do not allow people to dim your shine because they're blinded. Tell them to put on some sunglasses because we were born this way. And I see her just doing her neck. Baby, I was born this way. So what we don't do is try to get smaller so we can fit into someone else's idea of how small we should be. Because if we give them that, we'll shrink into nothingness because they really just don't want differences to exist. Which is kind of strange if you are a biology major, if you had biology in class, if you've ever met a doctor or physician, they'll tell you that the biodiversity of the genome is required in order to get life to be the way it is, that life is intelligent, that it has moved through the DNA, all the rules and conditions and replication and all the things it needs. It knows what it's doing. And if you leave it to the people who would seek to make us smaller, so that we could fit into some misshapen box that isn't even appropriate. If we gave into that, then we would be buying into a theology, or I don't even want to, it's like a whole world view that if that were the order of the day, we wouldn't even be here to make that choice. Gah! You wouldn't even have the brain cells to put together the weird ideology because it wouldn't exist because the ideology, it's not supported by nature. Oh, but we're not looking at that? Okay, it's fine. I've learned recently that I'm not supposed to get in details in my energy about what's wrong with something, because then all I do is I attract that wrongness to me. But what I do get to do is notice it, point it out, and without giving it a lot of emotions, nod. I see you. Next. What do I really want in my life? What do I want to build for myself? What am I creating? Who am I here to be? What's my purpose? What's my goal? What's my dream? Setting my intention so I can walk on my path. Because when I build from that, then I'm happy. If I just sit and criticize, then no one's happy. And I'm learning every day how to unfold myself because we get to be here. We get to try again. If you woke up this morning, you get to try again. Anything you chose that didn't really serve you in the past, choose again. This is the dream, this is the brilliance, this is the divine expressing itself. And so that's right. It's never too late and it's never too soon. And we get to live out and loudly. So the title is Living Out and Loud. And I could say living out and loudly, living loudly out, living outly. All right, my brain, you've met me. It's fine. We're creative. What do the rest of the notes tell us? Well, Ernest Holmes talks about the thought of God must be the cause of everything that exists. I'm gonna let you think about that because I need to let that sink in for me too. The thought of God must be the cause, capital C, of everything that exists. So wait, how are we condemning anything? The thought of God is the cause of everything that exists. And since there are so many existing things, that has to be that there's so many existing things. There must have been a lot of existing thoughts. There must still be existing thoughts if we still have a lot of existing things. He goes on to say, there must be many thoughts in the mind of the infinite. Must be, because it's infinite. It's logical to suppose, he says, for an infinite mind would necessarily conceive of an infinite variety of ideas. Interesting. So we are here to express ourselves out loud or loudly, because why wouldn't we? And so we take that lead from the LGBTQIA group of unbothered people. Like you could try to oppress, but all you'll get is a really cool drag show with a lot of those dramatic drops. And I was watching a lot of different drag shows this morning, just trying to say, which things can I show? And I was like, nah, let me just not. But I did run across a church or spiritual center, a CSL, that's in Lexington, Kentucky. And they celebrate LGBTQIA. They've got pictures on their website that have all manner of pride festival celebrations. They have drag shows at church. And then I scrolled down. Let me tell you what they said. I scrolled down on today's talk. And you know what do you know what is inside the talk for the CSL all across the land? Everybody that chooses to participate in these global themes, let me tell you what it says. The call to action is have a ball. Literally, I'm looking at it right here. Have a ball. This Sunday, transform the service into a celebration of self-expression. Everybody should come dressed up in their greatest self-expression. It doesn't say drag, but I'm reading drag in between the lines. Come all done up, ladies and gentlemen, and then consider hosting an actual drag show during the service. It says during the service. It goes where performers can share their art and their stories, celebrating diversity and creativity. Man, I'm just thinking about what if we were all like in a physical space right now and we just played a little music and then we could be like, pose, work, and we could be dropping it and talking about she ate and left no crumbs. If you know anything about it, we could be snapping. I mean, how much fun could that be? I say do it. So this event is more than just a party, it continues. It's a powerful statement of pride, acceptance, and community. By celebrating together, we honor resilience, and the beauty of living out loud. It said, so gather your community, turn up the music, and let the runway become a stage of joy. I would love to just kind of do all around the land. I want to know who did it and is there footage. So I'll let you know next week what I find. Isn't that exciting? You belong to a community that celebrates and elevates the very same people that others would seek to put down, ignore, and erase. Because in your heart, I know in my heart, and people of a certain type tend to flock together. We know that we are one with the divine. It doesn't make any sense to try to separate an other someone just because it makes ourselves feel better. We do not believe in the false dichotomy of if I'm good and I'll create some rules where I'm naturally part of the good group. And then I'll look out and I'll see you and then make you part of the bad group. We do not need to live in that kind of false dichotomy. No, because we've learned we're all one. And because this is true, we're not attracted to any situations that would sort of support or uphold division. And when we do show up to protest or whatever it is we're called to do, we seek to unify. We seek to see the world as one and not to fight something because all we're doing is anchoring in the idea of separate. When we look to fight, fight what? We're all one. So we're seeking to move into that oneness that we know that we are. That's what we do. We show up seeking to reveal that oneness and let other people know what that looks like. That's what we do. And this is great. This is it's exactly what is called upon. We're called upon to do this today because if it's true that we believe or we see a world where there is no separation, where each person gets to be themselves and they're honored and they have all of the comforts of life that we would seek for ourselves, that there is no separation. And when we can finally realize that in the world, well, that would be ideal. In fact, if I talk to you about looking for it, in our principles, what we're here to do, written by Ernest Holmes like 100 years ago, where he talked about like one of our founding principles is to have oneness. In fact, I'll read it now. In our statement of principles, we believe the ultimate goal of life to be a complete freedom from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. And then next one that says, we see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other. A world in which individually and collectively, we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. We envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence and discovering the creative power of thought, a world where each and every person discovers their own personal power and ability to create an individual life that works within a world that works for everyone. Now, imagine that. That's a long old sentence, but think about this. If humanity awakened to its spiritual magnificence and discovered, oh my gosh, my thought is creative. I'm creating my life with my thoughts. Uh-oh, maybe I should change my thoughts. And then where each and every person discovers that with their ability to co-create, they've got personal power. And so each person says, oh my, well, let me get busy creating this individual life that works for me. And then I look around and, oh my gosh, I'm working within a world that's working for everyone. That's quite a vision in one compressed little paragraph. But it all begins with recognizing that first of all, we wake up and we say, wait, why are we fighting? We're the same, we're one. And then we are creating our reality. We're not victims of circumstance. We get to think about and dwell upon what we do want. And then we move in that direction. And in doing so, we're living out our purpose. And each person has a different purpose. So we don't all need to march in the same direction with the same goal. If we really listen to ourselves, we'll find, oh, you know what really makes me happy is to give in this way. And oh my, look at you, you're giving in that way. And we're all so happy because we're doing what we came here to do. And when that is the order of the day, then you end up with a society that looks way different than what we've got now. And it does all start with a vision, and it does all start with ourselves. So congratulations, you're on the right path. Yay. Meanwhile, let's look over the I don't know, across the hall. If this world were just a huge mansion of lots and lots of corridors, let's look across the hall and say, so if the LGBTQ plus community was able to persevere in spite of all of the apparent oppression and all of the evil, like just people going out of their way to block them just living, Well, they would have to first know their truth, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? Just think about that. You're an LGBTQ plus person, and you know you were born that way. And so you're waking up and you're saying, hmm. Now, depending on whether you get the privilege of being able to hide or not, like some people do hide at first. Oh, I don't know, I don't want to come out. And there's a certain level of living. But then to know who you are and to come out and proud, well, that seems like it's another level of living. And I feel like the minute that choice is made, then two things would happen. One, you will have a community of people that embrace you. And two, you're going to get directed at you lots of angst and negativity because you deigned to step forth and choose something that's not acceptable, whatever the reason is. Now, whether or not this is your story personally, I imagine that each of us has some degree of something that's in ourselves that, gosh, if we were honest, ugh, I mean, it might not be acceptable by everybody, but I mean, could I just go for that thing I want? Could I just have that thing? Could I out loud agree or admit, yeah, that's really who I am. That's really what I want. There will be I'm sure there'll be two factions. Some that'll, yay, good, you're coming, woohoo. And some, I don't know. I don't know about that. How are you going to do that? You're not enough. And I don't know what the goal is. Maybe you want to come out as, I don't know, an anchor at a TV show or an actress or some leader. I know for me, I see myself like doing some stuff on stage and giving these talks. And then, I don't know, just like it could be IT, but not IT. And there's a lot of people, they're being inspired, sure. And then part of me is like, a little clenching is happening because I'm like, oh no, what if, scary. I mean, why not? Why not you? What is your thing? Why not you? Oh, but I'm not this enough. So if it would be enough, I don't know. What does it require? And is there a part of you that's terrified? Oh, I'm not enough. I imagine that the minute a decision like that is made, that fear is there anyway. And I feel like everybody who ever had to step forward and do the thing that they're called to do, that if they don't do it on their deathbed, they're going to be like, oh man, I should have just done it. Is that you? What thing is it? What is it that you're holding yourself back from? Hmm? And then claiming it has to be accompanied by fear, doubt, worry. But I feel like we have the answer to that too, which is only think about that which you want to experience. And just like what I was saying about criticizing, notice the thing and don't get engaged. Don't let it take you out. Right? So if there is fear, doubt, worry, a little concern, okay, I see you. And what I really see for myself is blah, 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 blah. Keeping our mind on what it is that we feel called to do. And it's got to be something that is in your heart and your mind says yay, and both of them are aligned. It shouldn't be oh, well, they said I should become a doctor. No, if someone said you should, are they going to be with you with the 8 years of studying and the 4 more years? No. If it doesn't call you forth from your heart, then it's not yours. Stay chill until you know what it is. That's what I recommend. But when you know what it is and your head and your heart are in alignment and now you're just a little scared and you're going to be embarrassed if it doesn't work out, it might not work out. And just look at it and nod and keep on going because I don't know, allow the chance that it doesn't work out because it turns out maybe there's something even better. You can't even see it because that's in the way. I don't know the answer, but I do know this. We serve no one when we hide. Hiding is no fun. You're by yourself hiding. It's lonely in there. And it's kind of scary because it's dark. Come out and live in the sun and let things unfold as they probably should. I don't know. Baby steps first, perhaps. You know what your thing is. You know if you're ready. Just listen and go when it's time to go. But the whole idea is we've got to follow the lead of our hearts. We ask ourselves where we're still hiding. What gifts are we hiding? What truths, what part of ourselves are there lurking? And what would it look like if you, I don't know, stick a toe out the door? See what happens. Probably not going to burst into flames unless you're a vampire. Like, what are we doing? Have fun with this. We have given, we have been given this life, this precious life, and it's over so fast. Do you want to look back and say, well, I checked off all the boxes? Those boxes are artificial boxes. They're not even there. You checked all the boxes. I'm only interested in you checking your boxes, not the ones that appear in the ether of shoulds and societal norms and becoming smaller so other people feel better. No, not those boxes. Check the ones inside. Okay. And then use your voice, stand up and just lead with love. And I don't know, have fun. Don't take yourself too seriously. I think these days we're so serious, and we were talking before service how some of us are so scared to fail at anything. Fail often, just do it. In fact, some people say take a lesson in something you know you do not know how to do. Like you could go rock climbing on an inside wall with harnesses. I say be safe, of course. Do something that you're gonna be bad at. Get over yourself, make mistakes, do it wrong, and laugh, because then all of that clenching that we do, oh no, what if I don't get it right? Oh no, what if people say stuff? What if they don't like? What if I'm let it go and laugh. A lot of times just smiling and laughing, oh, that's the answer. Just have a good time, connect with people, and live our lives, man. What are we waiting for? And I'm just going to say, take a note from the Black women I'm seeing on these social media. I don't stay on it a lot, but YouTube does deliver me some shorts every now and then. And I saw one, and there was a guy driving in a truck, and he had a Jason or the Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't watch the show. Somebody had that kind of mask on, and he's at the stoplight. Car after car, if it was a Black lady in the car, she looks at it and she starts cracking up, laughing, hilarious. They are so unbothered, and this is what the bottom line said. Why are Black women unbothered when everybody else is scared? We've been through it. We're tired. We're just gonna have some fun. So I recommend you do that. Take a page out of the Black women who rolled up next to that dude with his Jason mask on and just went and kept on going. Do that. See what happens. Live out loud, get out, do the thing. I can't wait to hear your reports on how well it's going, because I just know that it's our nature to be ourselves. If they can't handle it, that's their problem. All right, let's go into prayer, because I think the message has been dropped. Is there any chat? No, got nothing. All right, let's go within and just seal the deal here. There's only one divine presence, one love, one life, one source. From whence we all came, this is the divine spark. This is the Big Bang initiator. This is the beginning, the end, and everything in between. This divine intelligence is within its creation. It did not create and get out. It created and is still creating. That means in, through, and as each of us, there is the creative force. We use it. We use it by speaking our intentions into this law that always says, yes, my beloved, I see and I will deliver. It is ours to focus our mind on what it is we do want, to train our mind on our aligned intention, informed by our meditative exercises, informed by our connection with the one, knowing We are here to serve, knowing how, knowing why we're here, and then allowing the intelligent life force to surprise us with all of the different ways in which our dreams, our goals, where these purposes, our intentions are realized. They're manifest right here, right now in front of us. We use this creative force hand in hand with the divine to build the life of our dreams, where we speak our word for our lives and our lives become abundant, full of wholeness, love, and whatever it is that our heart desires. And also knowing that each and every one of our community and our larger world has access to this same power. And knowing that this ripple effect is beginning right here, right now, and it whooshes out. And it does not need a lot of time and a lot of legislation. It is at hand now. And we simply see it. We know that it is so. We hold it in our minds as we leave that seed into that soil, that fertile soil of possibilities, and we water that soil and we walk away, knowing we are grateful and we are so happy to have already received. And so I release my word into this law, knowing it is working on it. It's already in process. I just simply let it be. And so it is, Ashe.
Amen. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, they're only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection for lovers, for dreamers and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wish on the morning star? Somebody thought of it, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? What do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection for lovers, for dreamers and me. All of us under its spell. I guess that is probably magic. Have you been half asleep, and have you heard voices? I hear them calling my name. Is that the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice may be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. There's something that I am supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection for lovers, for dreamers and me.
goodness. Oh my goodness, Leah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Reverend Charlene, for the wonderful message. Leah, I was thinking, we do this to show love. We need like a rainbow symbol. We need something. I don't know what it is, but that was beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, folks. Now is the time that we practice that law of circulation. Like I said, when you go to a restaurant, you don't expect to walk out without paying a bill. And the question that I'd like to ask you is, what's spiritually feeding you? I hope one of your answers might be CSL Leesburg. So if you are tuning in on a regular basis, we thank you so much for your donations and your support. We can do what we do on Sundays and all the classes and the workshops and things because you're with us. You're part of CSL Leesburg. So no matter how you give, you can see all those choices up on the screen. We thank you so much for your donations. And please know that we practice what we preach. We give to our home office as well as other organizations and individuals who are helping us to create a world that works for everyone. They share our mission. So now please join me in the blessing of our gifts. The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness in the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I'm a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. And so it is. And now it's time for announcements. So some wonderful reminders about these great fundraiser opportunities that we have going on with CSL Leesburg. So the fabulous Renee S. has a wonderful gift. I've done this with her several times, and she's offering Akshaic, am I saying that right? Charlene, I'll hop in and correct me if I'm wrong. Readings, and these readings change the way that you view your life. What was the plan before you ever took your first breath on this beautiful planet Earth? What was the plan? What was your purpose? What is written in these records? And Renee has this gift. She can look at them and she can see that. I've gotten such wonderful insight from her, and I encourage you to do this too. The cost is $100 for an hour session, and 30% of the proceeds are donated right back to CSL Leesburg. Now, here's the important part. You gotta book your session with her before July 1st. And that's right around the corner. So make sure that you contact Renee, and you can see the contact information there. We also have our fabulous Dan with Soul Pajamas. You know him. He's a regular with CSL Leesburg. So Dan has a beautiful gift. He sings, he plays music, but he also writes songs. So you can book a session with Dan where you tell him, hey, this is what I want. I want a song for this particular person, or just maybe you need a theme song for yourself, right? And you tell him what is the message that you want conveyed, and he will masterfully put together a sample, put together a song for you, and that is your song. His gift is your song. So again, the proceeds go back to our center. It is $150 with 10% going back to CSL Leesburg. And Charlene, you're going to tell me if there's any cutoff date on this one. I'm trying to read the little print.
There's not, but 30% goes, not 10.
Oh, 30%. Hey, there you go. 30%. Yes, 30% comes back to CSL. All right, folks, that's what we have. You heard me mention that we're having our class. We're getting ready to wrap up that soon. It's called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. And very soon we'll probably be offering that again, or we're even talking about some other classes. So there's always something happening. We thank you so much for joining us today. Before we sign off, I want to remind you about Pearls. This is when we hang out a little bit afterwards in our virtual coffee hour, and we talk about what resonated with you with the meditation, the message, the music, what's going on, what books are you reading, what books do you want to know more about. We just kind of hang out and chat and catch up with each other. I invite you to do that if you can. And if you can't, then we're going to send you off with our blessings as soon as we do this closing affirmation. And look at the beautiful colors on the screen between that chameleon and our heart. So here we are, living in color. Join me in saying, and you got to unmute to do this, I want to hear you. So join me in saying, I am love.
I am love.
Yay! Thank you, Nancy. I think that was you. All right. Now, think of somebody who needs this message. It can be somebody who's in the room with you, a family, friend, or furry companion. And we know, I believe in this with my whole heart, that we are connected. So you don't have to be in the same room with somebody. You can send this across the miles. Think who you want to send this to. Are you ready? You are love.
You are love.
love.
Oh my gosh, I felt that. That was a tsunami coming at me. Thank you so much. All right, guys, here you go. One last one. Let's remind ourselves it is all love. You ready? It's all love.
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 Woo!
Love.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay if you can. Let's chat. Let's hang out. If you can't, please know that we're sending you off with our love and our blessings. Have a wonderful week. Breathe in, peace. Breathe out,